It's a pretty frigid December day in our nation's capital. We got our space heaters on full blast up in the booth at FedEx Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Arizona Cardinals and the Washington football team. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What works in our final month? We're underway in Week 14.
This will make it into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Derrick Henry. And a powerful stiff arm. It frees him. And he will take this all the way down to the Cardinals' 25-yard line. It's a big run there by Henry. 44 yards.
The 25-yard line.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. First carry now for Gus Edwards. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Behind the chains, 2nd and 13.
54's Mike. Check. Watch.
They'll try the air now with Smith. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long.
56, Mike, 56, right there, 56. And we got to get up, 18. Let's keep moving.
A shotgun snap for Smith. And he's going to go down again. DJ Reader able to record his 5th sack of the season. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And that is no good. He hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Partner, doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? A long one, and he can't connect. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Now a carry for Sanders. And he's going to be stopped close to the first down marker at Washington's 12-yard line. 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
A first down throw for Mayfield. And his throw's going to be incomplete. CeeDee Lamb is intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They'll run. It's Sanders. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
He's tackled at the
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And it's 3rd down.
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. To throw, Mayfield. They got him in. It's Woods. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. That goes for 14 yards. First down, Cardinals. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They go back to the ground with Sanders. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here.
A 28-yard attempt.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0.
Washington.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he returns this to the 22.
Washington takes over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
54, right there, 54.
Draw play. This is Henry. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Second and 11 now.
Line 54. Here we go, let's bring it. Line 54.
This is Henry. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Here's Smith. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington 1st down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
On 1st and 10, Smith. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Eric Kendricks. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
5-yard line.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Cardinals 3, Washington 0.
Sacks, a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long.
Switch. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Out of the gun, Smith. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
54, right there. 54 Mike.
From the gun, here's Smith. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
And And this will be off the right upright, but he banks it in. A high degree of difficulty there, but he gets it to go. And that will tie us at 3-3. Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And this will make it into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act.
Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked off near the 32. That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver. Whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter, they'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, you could see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
After the interception, here's Smith. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 10-3.
Sanders set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
5-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
1st and 10.
Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily. I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway, because that's your strength.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Eric Kendricks make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Washington on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Now it's Henry. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Well, they certainly didn't appear to be fired up about their options throwing the football. So, to me, this seems like a case of just kind of taking their medicine there, run the ball, see if they could pick up something. Instead, they were throwing for a loss.
caught the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Another try after the 1st down sack. Mayfield connects here with a tight end, Blake Jarwin. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Blake Jarwin.
That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, Mayfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started. And that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty. And before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Taken from just outside the 30. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now it's Smith. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Washington on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
And we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running.
Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 50.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Eric Kendricks in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. Right there. 56. Hey, let's get that home.
Throwing on second and long. Smith. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Check Mike, 99. Check 60. Let's go. Check Mike, 99. Mike, 99. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
Third and long, it's Smith. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still fourth down. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on fourth down. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. A throw out wide to Woods, complete. And he's going to get this up to the 24-yard line.
Complete.
A good pickup there at 22. That's how you draw up the run-pass option right there. You get a chunk play out of it.
And you know quarterbacks love to throw the RPOs because oftentimes they're in-breaking routes, but receivers love it even more. The ball gets to them quickly, allows them to put some moves on in the secondary.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Right side complete. That's Woods. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And again, it's Mayfield. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
Mayfield's pass.
27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
27 on the play.
Mayfield on 1st down. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown.
Complete to
CeeDee Lamb. As the first half is winding down, and the Cardinals have cut it to within a score. And he puts it through there within 3. It's 13-10.
This Washington 13, Cardinals 10. Mitch Wishnowski.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken in the end zone.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Call it a gain of a yard as it brings us to the end of the first half. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Jason Sanders set to kick off.
It'll be the Cardinals who get the ball first. They trail here as we resume action in the third quarter.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that...
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Cardinals. Miles Sanders. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Cardinals have retaken the lead. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation. Knowing when it exists to go to it, they did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll run with Henry. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
Throwing is Smith. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Oh, good move. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball, but how about them just taking it big-time jaunt. Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll go again with Sanders. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield.
And they'll get this into the hands of Huntley.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
First down, Mayfield. Oh, it's a screen pass. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
2nd and 11 at the 47-yard line.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Mayfield. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Robert Woods, former USC man, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Going to the air again with Mayfield. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress, and I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This will be taken at the 10. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Washington offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
At the 11-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Pretty quiet. Check Mike, man, oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Again, it's Henry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Now Brown. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. He finds Corey Davis. And he's taken down inside the 30. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
On 1st down, Sanders not finding a whole lot as he'll get forward for about 3.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Another run with Sanders. And down inside the 15 he goes. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Now Sanders. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll run with Sanders. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Third and short yardage. Mayfield. Strong coverage by Washington. And now 4th down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah,
what happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head and not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Makes the score.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of... Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Darius Leonard racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
56 to Mike, boy, 56.
Another try after the first down sack. Smith. Now he'll pull it down. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off. Not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down. Makes it manageable now.
Here's Smith to throw on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Smith's pass forced to the ground and incomplete. It's 4th down.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Washington. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. With it is Brown. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. Back now at FedEx Field. It's Cardinal football. They're also out in front of the scoreboard as we get set for the 4th. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Mayfield to throw it. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
Cardinals.
Here's Sanders. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 11. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
First down, Arizona.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Another run here with Sanders. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
The ball carrier.
Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
The Cardinals on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Mayfield looks to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Is good.
So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Smith looking left side. He's got it complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there and a 1st down. First down carry for Henry. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Smith being chased out left. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Washington on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Smith. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington.
Let's go.
A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And Washington has made this a 1-score game. And the lead is down to a field goal now.
Good. Makes the score Cardinals 23, Washington 20. Jason Sanders set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This will make it into the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
They're on 25-yard line.
to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Mayfield down. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. That's a third down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
First down.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
The ball carrier.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. So the false start will back them up 5. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
The false start hurts him there a bit, backs him up to 2nd and 9.
Let's go. You tighten up. Hey, switch gears.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Sanders. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
And it's 3rd down.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Mayfield now from the 50. He'll get this one complete to Davis. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Here comes the Cardinals punter now as he's on to kick it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
No gain.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Back to throw. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. And they'll take a knee as the clock ticks down toward 50 seconds to go. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
57, Mike 57. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Down to a knee. Here's the Cardinals look to let the clock roll.
No conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'm gonna pull out.
Today's final.
So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals. And this not always an easy proposition, Charles. You had a West Coast team that traveled east, but they got the job done.
And there's so much that goes into it because your body time and your body clock different from what you're used to west, because if you go east, you're going to lose up to 3 hours, right? So is your body going to be awake when it's time to play? A lot of teams actually rehearse it. They practice it. Maybe the week of the game, they move everything up to that time frame so guys get used to doing it that way. I remember when I played at Tennessee, when we had to go from east to west, our trainer, Tim Karen, said, leave your watches on East Coast time. Every piece of information we got was East Coast Standard Time. Try to psychologically tell us what to do, as well as prepare our bodies the same way.
So for Arizona, their very slim playoff hopes remain as they move to 6 and 7 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Washington, it's another week to forget as they're going to fall to 1 and 12 now on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants.
Hey.